Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video, I'm going to make a rat rod out of the good old bone shaker here. And I was sent this bone shaker by my mum. And a package of various little cars she picked up at the market. Actually, the bone speeder I did with Jim Silver was in that lot. So there's a couple of posts to drill out and then it comes apart. There's not much to this, it's 3 pieces. It's probably one of the most widely used Hot Wheels cars, and they stick it with other things. Produced heaps of variants of it. Strip off the paint there with some paint stripper. Now I'm going to hack it up with a cutting disc on my Dremel. So I'll be cutting off the bonnet there, and I'm going to cut off the roof. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this casting. I'm not very keen on that square roof, so it'll be quite satisfying cutting it off. It's quite a thick hunk of metal at the back there, so I started off with the cutting disc and then I moved to a coping saw to do some of the bulk of it. Here it is after I've sawn the roof off. It's a little bit scruffy inside. I'll just tidy that up with a sanding drum. Then I can use a file to smooth off the top of it here where I sawed it off. Onto the base now. I'll pop the old wheels and axles out. I'm not going to be reusing those. I'm going to be slamming it down low so I file the base of it smooth. And I don't like the skull, and the pipes are too low on the original bone shaker, so I've got this Snoopy here. I'm going to take that apart and cut the front end off it. And there's the interior of the bone shaker. I've cut the motor and the front skull bit off of that. And then this is how it's all going to go together. And then I've just given the wheels a basic lift with some brass rod. Right, so it was time for some paint. I gave it a base coat of silver, and I'm just going to use a sponge, and I'm using German red brown, some rust effect paint and some burnt red. I'm going to apply that all over the body of my little bone shaker. Give it a nice rust effect. Next, I'm putting some light and dark rust washes over that. That's just going to bring it all together, give it a nice patinaed appearance. Then finally, I use the sponge again and some green paint. Add on some chipped paint. So there you go, that's how to get a nice rusty, heavily chipped effect with no chipping mediums or airbrushes or anything. Now onto the chassis. I've glued the motor on there and given it all a coat of black primer. Then I painted it silver and I'll apply a black wash onto that. And once that had dried, I applied some light rust with the sponge again. Went a bit heavier underneath. Here's the interior, I've just detailed that. Some brown seats. And finally, here's the wheels I'm going to be replacing the old ones with. I want them to be silver though, I want them to be chipped white. So I'll just pop the tyres off. Then I spray painted them all with a couple of coats of white. I apply a very light grey wash so they don't look too clean. It's not a heavy wash because I don't want them to not look white anymore. And then I apply just a little bit of rust chipping with a sponge, making sure I don't go too heavy. And here they are with the tyres back on. Right, so that's all our rusting and ratting out done, and I just have to put the pieces back together. While I'm reassembling it, let's just take a moment to look back at what we started with. Our little bone shaker in black with quite decent looking flames on the side. And let's see how it looks when it's been chopped up and ratted out. And here it is, our finished bone speeder rat rod. See the roof chop there, it's been given a nice rusty patina, detailed inside with some old ripped seats. Gone is the skull at the front and replaced with a proper radiator, and of course those cool new rusty old white wheels. And we've fully slammed it down on the ground. It does roll quite nicely still as well. So you can let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. A big shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thanks heaps for supporting the channel. Check out the link down below if you want to help out as well. Thanks heaps to you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more similar stuff.